There are 4 separate calorie burning systems that your body uses to burn calories. And you can actually naturally increase all 4 of these calorie burning systems, but most people are focusing on only one of them, and they're actually focusing on the least important one. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you the big mistake that most people are making. I'm gonna tell you how your body burns calories through all 4 of these ways, and then I'm gonna tell you how you can actually increase each one of these systems and how you can get the weight loss results that you want. So let's dive into the first mistake that everyone seems to be making. You either think that your metabolism is that sports car, so it's the Ferrari or the Lamborghini, or you think it's on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, or you think it's that soccer mom's minivan that hauls all the kids to and from practice. You have this idea that you either have a fast metabolism or a slow metabolism. And I get it. I was the chubby kid growing up. I was the kid that when I was in sports growing up and I was in Little League Baseball, I was the last one to bat. I was put in the right field. I think right field's the bad side of the field because nobody hits it to that side of the field because I was a chubby kid and I was unathletic. Or I was the kid when I did soccer when I was younger. I was put on defense, never got to play any of the fun offensive positions. They put me in a spot that the ball would barely even go to because they just knew I was overweight. I was that kid that really wasn't going to get much playing time anyways. Or I was the kid that was always afraid to take my dang shirt off whenever we had any sort of outings in PE to go to the water park. And I was like, I didn't want to do that because I didn't want people to think that I was fat, even though they probably already knew it. I don't want you to be stuck in that mentality that I was in, where I felt like I had no hope. I felt like I was not going to lose the weight forever. But after losing 70 pounds, I realized you have more control than you think. And I'm gonna show you exactly how you can do this and increase your metabolism to help you get weight loss results. Like, you don't need no metabolism boosters, you don't need no detoxes, some juice cleanses, some stinking fasts, and you don't need to be doing tons of cardio. You can actually increase each one of these systems to help increase your metabolism naturally. And you can start doing this instantly. So let's start with the first one that most people put all of their attention into, and it ends up being the least important one. Let's go back to that soccer mom minivan. When do you use the most gas when you're using that minivan? Is it when you're sitting in idle? Is it when you're creeping through traffic? Or is it when you're going 70, 75, 80, maybe even on the interstate? The answer is obvious, right? Exercise is not your engine. Exercise is when you step on the gas pedal. And this is where most people make a huge mistake. They think that they need to step on the gas pedal more. They need to be doing more cardio, more HIIT, more workouts. But when in reality, it ends up being one of the smallest contributors to how many calories you burn on a daily basis, which leads me into the first calorie burning system that your body has, which makes up 5 to 10% of what you burn on a daily basis. And we call this EAT. This stands for exercise activity thermogenesis. It's just a nerdy way of saying intentional exercise that is intense. So what is this? This is lifting weights. This is going on a bike ride. This is going for a run. This is your Pilates workout, any sort of workout class that you do. This is any intentional exercise that has a level of intensity to it. So just by you trying to increase these, you are focusing on 10% or less of what actually is burning calories on a daily basis. Think about it like this. Are you exercising 24 hours out of the day? No. You are doing 1 to 2 hours max in a day. Why are you trying to increase this even more and make this more demanding on your body? Like, to put some math into this, that's 4 to 8% of what your day really looks like. And this is where people make a big metabolism mistake by trying to continue to step on that gas pedal more and burn more calories in an area that is actually taking up 10% or less of your calories burned on a daily basis. And that's not even considering when people tend to increase this amount, they end up actually eating back a lot of the calories that they burned, or they feel like they need to reward themselves without even meaning to. So if intentional exercise only makes up 5 to 10% of the calories that you burn on a daily basis, where does the other 90 to 95% come from? This next calorie burning system is one that you do all day long, and it makes the biggest impact to your weight loss. So let's say we took that minivan out of park and we didn't hit the gas pedal. It would slowly creep forward and cover a lot of ground with little to no effort. And this is exactly what NEAT is, which is going to be your second calorie burning system that your body has. NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis, another nerdy way of saying all the other exercise that you do that isn't intense and intentional. So what is that even gonna be? That's gonna be me moving my hands and making hand gestures. That's me making facial expressions as I talk. That's you fidgeting under your desk while you're watching this video. That's you doing chores maybe while you're watching this. Maybe you're driving and listening to this. That's you moving your hands on the steering wheel. This is you burning calories, but by just going for a 5 to 10 minute walk. But here's the cool part. All of these things add up throughout the day, and they make up about 15 to 30% of what you burn on a daily basis. So something as simple as you just moving throughout the day actually burns 2 to 3 times more than you getting your intentional exercise in. So we can actually increase this. So how do we do this? This does not mean fidgeting more. This does not mean doing stuff like this more often. What this means is setting a step goal. So taking that 4,000 step goal that you have, or that 4,000 daily amount, and trying to increase this to maybe an 8,000, a 9,000, 10,000, maybe even a 15,000. This means parking at the back of a parking lot when you get to a grocery store. This means going out of your way to take the stairs. This means going out of your way to get 5 to 10 minutes of walking throughout the day. This means getting up and moving out of your desk more frequently. This means taking more periodic breaks throughout the day where you get up and move and you don't sit here for 5, 7, 8 hours straight. When you increase your step goal, you increase your metabolism in one of the best ways possible. Now, so far we talked about how moving your body impacts your metabolism, but what if I told you you could just make a simple change to your diet and it would help increase it? I want you to take something that you eat for breakfast, which could be a breakfast sandwich. When you have this, you are eating 3 different macronutrients. This is gonna be protein, fats, and carbs. And here's what's crazy, and a lot of people don't realize, that your body actually burns calories just to digest all 3 of those macronutrients. Think about it like when you drop clothes off at Goodwill. That clothes doesn't just get dumped onto the shelves. They have to sort through the things that they want and don't want. There takes a little bit of labor and effort to get that item on the shelf. Your body is doing this with these macronutrients. It has to break them down and has to take more energy and less energy on certain macronutrients. And we call this TEF, and this stands for thermic effect of food. That's just a fancy way of saying your body burning calories to digest the food. And this takes up roughly about 10% of what your body burns on a daily basis, which seems small. But your body is burning 10% of its calories on a daily basis through something you're not even realizing that you have to go do. Now let's break down fats, carbs, and proteins, because this is what's gonna be important on how you're gonna actually increase your metabolism. So when you have that breakfast sandwich and your body is digesting the fat, 0 to 3% of those calories from fat is actually going to be digested when your body is working on processing it. Now, when your body is digesting the carbs, about 5 to 10% of those calories from the carbs gets digested. But when your body digests protein, it in fact digests 20 to 30% of the calories from protein because your body has to work a lot harder to digest that protein. So to put that into perspective, if you ate 100 calories of fats, your body would burn roughly 0 to 3 of those calories digesting the fats. If you had ate 100 calories of carbs, your body would burn roughly 5 to 10 calories digesting those carbs. But if you were to eat 100 calories of protein, your body would actually burn 20 to 30 calories of that 100 calories just by digesting the protein. So just by you making a simple shift in your diet and start eating high protein foods, you can actually increase your metabolism that you have on a daily basis. So what should you do? All I want you to do is take your goal body weight times 0.8, and that is gonna be the amount of grams to eat in protein every single day. So for example, if you wanted to weigh 140 pounds, you would take 140 times 0.8, and that's gonna give you 112 grams of protein to eat every single day. Now this last calorie burning system makes up about 60% of what you burn on a daily basis. Let's go back to that minivan. If you had that minivan in park and you had it on, it would sit there and burn gas just to stay on. Your body works the same exact way, and we call this BMR, or basal metabolic rate. This is just a nerdy way of saying what your body burns on a daily basis just to keep you alive. So for example, if you just laid in bed all day long, this would be the amount of calories that your body would burn just for you to lay there and do nothing. Now here's the cool part. Just like all 3 of these other systems, you can actually increase this one too. So the more muscle that you have on your body, the higher that your BMR is going to be, because your body has to work hard to keep that muscle. So what should you do? All I want you to start doing is doing strength training workouts 2 to 3 times a week. And this doesn't count Pilates. This doesn't count yoga. This means lifting weights in the gym, doing full body workouts. And if you really want, you can just steal these workouts here. But doing these full body workouts is going to allow you over time to progress and put on muscle. So these full body workouts should include lower body exercises, upper body exercises, core exercises, and they will include roughly anywhere from 6 to 8 exercises per workout. And then as you progress over time, you should be increasing reps, you should be increasing weight, increasing time if it's like a plank. And this will allow you to continue to build muscle over time. So just by you literally doing 2 to 3 full body strength training workouts a week, setting a step goal, and eating a high protein diet, you can actually increase your metabolism. You can go from what you thought that you were stuck with, that slow metabolism forever, go from that minivan to a BMW. Now don't get me wrong, genetics definitely play a factor in how fast someone's metabolism really is. But the cool part is you can control all 4 of these systems to help leverage it in your favor, because you aren't stuck with that slow metabolism. You can literally go from what you thought was a slow metabolism to people asking you, how did you get those weight loss results? But if you're sitting here and you're like, okay, I understand this, I just don't know how to actually put this into a plan, then I've made a whole free mini course on how to lose weight to help you create a plan for yourself. You can access that by clicking the link in the description. It's completely free. This is a step-by-step system to help you calculate your calories, make sure you're setting a step goal, setting your protein numbers, make sure that you're having a workout plan in place, and ultimately getting the weight loss results that you want. So you can not only learn this from this video, but actually apply it. Now, your total calories matter a lot when it comes to losing weight, but that's only one piece of the puzzle. You also have to figure out how to build a fat loss diet that is going to help you lose fat and hold it off forever. And if you need help with this, then you just watch this next video that I have here.